Welcome to Wellness Scope. Today we will explore 5 things you didn't know about high-functioning depression. Why are there not more people talking about it? You know, that thing where someone seems okay on the surface, maybe even thriving, but inside they're fighting a silent battle. It's a bit like having Wi-Fi that's technically working, but the signal is so weak, it keeps dropping out. So today we're going to unpack this complex issue, debunk some myths, and hopefully shed some light on what it truly means to live with this. We're going to explore 5 key things you probably didn't know about high-functioning depression. So, what exactly are we talking about when we say high-functioning depression? Well, it's not an official diagnosis you'll find in the DSM-5, the big book of mental health conditions. Instead, it's more of an umbrella term that describes people who experience chronic depressive symptoms but manage to maintain a relatively normal, outward appearance. Think of it like this. Imagine an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg, the part everyone sees above the water, that's the high-functioning part. It's the person going to work, hitting deadlines, showing up for social events, maybe even cracking jokes. But beneath the surface, hidden from view, is a whole lot of ice, a massive chunk representing the persistent feelings of sadness, emptiness, and hopelessness that characterize depression. People with this condition are often incredibly good at masking these symptoms. It's a real and debilitating condition that deserves to be taken seriously and treated with compassion and understanding. One of the biggest challenges with this condition is the mountain of misconceptions surrounding it. Because people living with it can often seem so put together on the outside, others might assume they're not really struggling. They might say things like, "But you always seem so happy," or "You're just stressed, everyone feels that way sometimes." These comments, while often well-intentioned, can be incredibly invalidating and isolating. They reinforce the idea that someone needs to be visibly struggling in order for their pain to be considered real or worthy of support. It's like telling someone with a broken leg that they can't be in that much pain because they're still able to hobble around on crutches. Another common misconception is that this condition is a choice. People might think, if they're capable of holding down a job and going about their day, they must not be trying hard enough to feel better. Depression, in any form, isn't a lack of willpower or a character flaw. Instead, approach them with empathy, understanding, and a willingness to listen without judgment. It's easy to assume that this condition is less impactful because, well, people are still functioning. They go to work, they socialize, and they keep up with their responsibilities. But this assumption overlooks the profound internal struggle they face every single day. But the reality is, this condition casts a long shadow, affecting nearly every aspect of a person's life. Let's start with work. The workplace can be a particularly challenging environment for someone dealing with this type of depression. On the surface, someone with this condition might be killing it in their career. They might appear to be the epitome of success, handling projects with ease and maintaining a professional demeanor. They meet deadlines, attend meetings, and might even climb the corporate ladder. Their colleagues might see them as reliable and efficient, always on top of their game. But behind closed doors, they may be struggling with low motivation, difficulty concentrating, and persistent fatigue. The energy it takes to maintain this facade can be utterly draining. Imagine trying to focus on a complex spreadsheet when your brain feels like it's wading through mental molasses. Every task becomes a Herculean effort. Then there are relationships. Maintaining close connections requires energy, emotional availability, and, actually wanting to be around other humans sometimes. Friendships and romantic relationships can suffer, but depression can zap those resources, making it difficult to be fully present and engaged. The emotional toll can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness, even when surrounded by loved ones. Basic things like cooking a healthy meal, exercising, or even showering can feel like monumental tasks when you're grappling with depression's heavy cloak of exhaustion and apathy. These everyday activities can become overwhelming. The bottom line is, this form of depression might not always be visible, but its effects are far-reaching and incredibly real. It's a silent battle that many fight alone, often without the understanding or support they need. It's essential to remember that behind those accomplishments and that seemingly normal exterior is a person fighting a daily battle against an invisible enemy. Recognizing this struggle is the first step towards offering compassion and support. So, what can you do if you're living with this condition? It can be challenging to recognize and address because, on the surface, you might appear to be functioning well. However, the internal struggle is very real and deserves attention. Well, the first and most important step is acknowledging that you're not alone, and that it's okay to ask for help. Reaching out to friends, family, or a support group can make a significant difference. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I should be able to handle this on my own, but the truth is, everyone needs support, especially when it comes to mental health. Sharing your feelings with someone you trust can be incredibly liberating. One of the most effective ways to manage this condition is to seek professional help. A mental health professional can offer guidance and strategies tailored to your specific needs. A therapist can provide a safe and supportive space to explore your feelings, develop coping mechanisms, and work through the underlying causes of your depression. They can also help you set realistic goals and track your progress. In addition to therapy, there are also a number of things you can do on your own to manage your symptoms. Self-help strategies can be very empowering and complement professional treatment. One important step is to prioritize self-care. This means taking time for activities that nourish your body and mind. This might include things like getting regular exercise, eating a healthy diet, establishing a consistent sleep schedule, and engaging in activities you enjoy, even when you don't feel like it. Physical activity in particular has been shown to have a positive impact on mood and overall well-being. It's also essential to challenge negative thought patterns. Cognitive behavioral techniques can be particularly useful in this regard. By learning to identify and reframe these thoughts, you can start to shift your perspective and cultivate a more balanced and compassionate inner dialogue. This can help reduce the intensity of depressive episodes. Remember, managing this condition is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing effort and patience, but with the right strategies and support, it is possible to lead a fulfilling and balanced life. So, what can you do if you suspect someone you care about might be struggling with this condition? It can be challenging to know the right steps to take, but your support can make a significant difference. The most important thing is to approach them with empathy, compassion, and a willingness to listen without judgment. Show them that you genuinely care about their well-being and that you are there to support them through thick and thin. Remember, they may be incredibly good at hiding their struggles, so it's crucial to create a safe space for them to open up. Encourage them to share their feelings and let them know that it's okay to be vulnerable. One of the best things you can do is simply let them know you're there for them. Your presence can be a comforting reminder that they are not alone in their journey. You don't need to have all the answers or offer unsolicited advice. Sometimes just being there and showing that you care is enough. Sometimes just listening with an open heart and validating their feelings can make a world of difference. Acknowledge their pain and let them know that their feelings are valid and important. It's also important to avoid minimizing their experience. Statements that downplay their feelings can be hurtful and make them feel misunderstood. Even if you don't fully understand what they're going through, resist the urge to say things like, "It could be worse," or "Just think positive." These comments, though well-intentioned, can come across as dismissive. Instead, try to educate yourself about their condition. Understanding the nuances can help you provide more effective support. The more you understand, the better equipped you'll be to offer support. Knowledge is a powerful tool in helping someone navigate their mental health journey. Remember, supporting someone with this condition is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, consistency, and ongoing effort. By showing up with love and compassion, you can make a profound difference in their life. Your support can be a beacon of hope and strength for them during their darkest times. Thanks for sticking with us through this important conversation. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content on mental health and well-being. There's strength in vulnerability, power in sharing our stories, and hope in knowing that even in the darkest depths, we are connected by our shared humanity. Don't underestimate the impact of simply reaching out to someone you care about, starting a conversation and letting them know they're not alone. Sometimes a listening ear, a kind word, or a virtual hug can make all the difference in the world. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.